The next question I've got for you is, Expedia is somewhat unique in that you're both a media seller, but you're also one of the biggest media buyers out there. So that gives you a unique perspective on what people have done in the past and what people may be planning for the future. So what mistakes do you think CMOs and VPs of marketing have made this last year in 2009, and what mistakes are they on track to make next year that they should really think twice before they make those mistakes?
Yeah. A few weeks ago, Kevin, I gave a talk at the Eye for Travel conference, an industry conference, and I talked about holistic marketing in the travel space. And during the talk, I actually was presenting this really cool graphic from New York Times ran around the Super Bowl. Just after the Super Bowl, they created a time-lapse image on a U.S. map of consumers coming in and tweeting about advertisers during the game. So in real time, showing real-time frequency and duration of tweets about advertisement that was going on during the game. And I thought it was a perfect illustration of how instantaneously now the consumer takes control of the brand message. The consumer takes control and and decides and shapes how that message is getting out there. In the travel space this year, United Airlines, I don't know if you saw it, but United Airlines had a bit of an embarrassment around this United Breaks Guitar viral video, guitars viral video. And I've talked with the team there, and they have a good laugh about it, but they also recognize right away that you just can't ignore social. It's happening, and so either from a marketing perspective or a public relations perspective, you have to have a plan. And so I think that the most mistakes in 2009 were made around social media, and I think that that's also going to be true in 2010 and beyond. But I also think it's okay, right? I think we should all be trying to make mistakes, to be pushing in that space to the point where we are making mistakes and learning really quickly and figuring out what we need to do next, because it's undefined and its potential is undefined as yet.
Well, the Super Bowl example that you gave also sort of highlights another thing that we've seen over the years, and it's now transitioned over to social media as well, which is search isn't only a media, it's also a metric. Right, so when you advertise heavily, you see immediate spikes in brand searches, immediate spikes in category level searches, and so you could be simultaneously watching the search behavior of people and the Twitter sphere, right? And between those two, you would actually know whether your advertising was working or not. Because if you don't see anything, if it's crickets, something's wrong with your advertising.
And as a brand, the Expedia brand team looks at that very carefully and thinks about that an awful lot. In that discussion about what was happening during the Super Bowl, it's the ultimate media event, so it's an easy case study, but. It's hard to be. It's very difficult to be holistic in marketing. You can monitor those things going on, but then you realize you can see right away where your mistakes are. Keywords you didn't buy. I can't remember the exact examples, but there was an analyst who did a write-up afterward about certain brands that had advertised during Super Bowl 42 that just missed some. Of course, they bought their basic keywords, but they missed their slogan or something like that. That just was. I can see that chief marketing officer after the game just doing one of those V8 moments. Like, all right.